Tonight's the night that we are packing up to get off the ship tomorrow, and so I want to give you an update on how everything is going on the Coral Princess, what it looked like on our cruise, and what I think you need to think about. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is April 15th of 2026. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click on the subscribe button. And if you appreciate everything I share, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new around here, we talk about cruising 6 days a week, and when we go somewhere, we take you with us. This time we have taken you on a cruise with us from Hong Kong over to tomorrow we get off the ship in Tokyo. So a few things have been on my mind, and a few things that I have noticed have really stuck with me during the course of our cruise. We've been on the ship for 12 days, so I feel like it's not as long as the people that have been on the whole world segment, but the whole world cruise, and it's a pretty short segment that we're on, but it's a decent length of cruise. So here we go. Number one, truly we are noticing how limited the options are for what you can have delivered to you on the OceanNow food delivery. Princess does it with the medallion, if you're not familiar with that. And so they make it so that you can use your app or the stateroom TV, or you can pick up the phone in your cabin and call room service. If you pick up the phone in your cabin, no matter what package you have, I believe it costs $5 every time you place an order. So use your app or use the stateroom TV to do it. But we're noticing two things about it, and it's been a long time, well, I would say it's been several months now that Princess is really limited when and where you can have food delivered. You can have food delivered to the piazza and the pool just during a very small window of hours during the daytime, or you can have food delivered to your stateroom 24 hours a day. So I'm really glad that they still offer the 24-hour room service. One thing we have noticed with getting on, we were on the Sapphire Princess for Antarctica from like January 25th through February 11th of this year, and then clearly we're on the Coral Princess this time. On the Sapphire Princess, we noticed that things were more limited than when we had been on. The last time we were on a ship was at the end of November on the Regal Princess, and they're even more limited now on the Coral Princess. One thing that stands out to me like crazy is it used to be that you could order up to 4 bottles of water. And if you didn't have a package, you would pay for them. If you had the Plus or the Premier, they were included. But for one room service order, you could order 4. Same with cans of soda. If you wanted 2 Diet Cokes, you could just order 2 Diet Cokes. And they had several different mocktails to choose from. They have really limited the number of options that you have. I don't think there are any mocktails. I could not find any mocktails to order on the room service menu, and now you can order 1. So you can order 1 bottle of water for a whole room service order. So even if you have 2 people in your cabin like we do, and you each want a bottle of water, you can only get 1. So we figured out the workaround to that. Actually, Gordon did. And what you do is you place your room service order, and then you immediately place another one. And they'll bring you it all on the same tray because they come in right after each other. And so while they're preparing the one, they see the other one come in, and then you can have your 2 bottles of water. And so that could be a workaround for you. You can do it with anything. You could order 2 cans of Diet Coke that way. You know, whatever it is, you can order 2 that way. Another thing I noticed, also just throwing it in there, is the menu options are also getting really smaller. But if you come on the Coral Princess, try the Greek salad, because it was a real Greek salad. There's no lettuce in it. Lettuce does not belong in a Greek salad. First ship I've been on that they've gotten the Greek salad right. It was really good. So there's 2 tips for you: how to get more than 1 bottle of water at a time, and how to, try that. But anyway, just wanted to bring you up to date on that. So I would love it if in the comments, anybody that's been on a ship lately, let me know how that's going. Would you let me know if you're seeing a limited menu, if you can order 1 item, that's all you can order? Let me know. Number 2, let's talk about Sodagate. Then we're going to move on to the state of the Coral Princess. Sodagate on this ship is not happening. I have not seen it at all. So if anybody has, let me know. But the people that I have spoken with, if you ask for soda, they bring it to you in a can and a glass of ice, which is just perfection. They do that in no matter where you are on the ship, and you ask for that. If you ask for a Diet Coke and you're up at the bar by the pool, they're going to hand you a glass of fountain soda. But the other places you get a can, they don't charge you for it, which I think is really nice. Now on the World Cruise, when you book the World Cruise early, the Premier package was included with this one, and so a lot of people on the ship have the Premier package just as part of the deal, but there's a lot that booked after that window of time. And so number 1, if you're looking to book the World Cruise for 2027, you're very welcome to reach out to me, and I'd be delighted to work with you on it and book it for you, because I have learned so much about World Cruises on this trip. I'll put that in another video. But anyway, it doesn't seem like Sodagate is going on here at all. I am hearing from other ships that it is still underway. I am going to point out though that on the Princess website, when you read through on the pages that talk about the Plus package and the Premier package, it says that if you if you really want a can of soda, you can ask for a can and you shouldn't be charged for it. So if you ever need that to show anybody, there you go. Alrighty, but that's where we stand on the Coral Princess. Now this is our 3rd cruise on the Coral Princess. We went to Antarctica in January of 2020, and then last year in 2025 we did the Panama Canal cruise. We went from Los Angeles to Fort Lauderdale. Absolutely loved it. She has had a dry dock since then, and you can tell that there has been a lot of refresh, and so I feel like the ship is in really great shape physically, and as well as the crew. The crew has been amazing. One thing that I love about Princess is that you can go from ship to ship to ship, and you have different ships, you have different itineraries, but usually, really, truly, predominantly, the crew is the same. Outstanding. So the service that I received on the Star Princess in November, and on the Regal Princess in November, and on the Sapphire Princess in January, and on this ship, all excellent. So you can have different ships, but the service has been outstanding on all of them. And so a few things have been in my mind. Number 1, you maybe don't know, but the Coral Princess and the Island Princess are sister ships. They came out at about the same time. They're the same size. Everything about them is the same, except they underwent some quite years ago. I should try to look up and see when they did it, but years ago they made changes to both ships. They changed the Island Princess more radically than they changed the Coral Princess, but they are both still amazing ships. They are a perfect size to go anywhere in the world as far as ocean going ships would go, and so they do do a lot of the amazing itineraries. So I want you to know, number 1, that the ship is in excellent shape. I haven't seen any indication that it's not. Our room is excellent. Everything's going really well, and the crew is outstanding. I wanted to also tuck in here, like I said, they made changes to the Island Princess, and she does not have a full international cafe. The Coral Princess does. It's right next to the casino there. That would be my only complaint, is because people smoke when they're playing in the casino, and then that filters over. But it's okay. It's all right. It still has the International Cafe, seating area, full cases, everything. On the Island Princess, they just have a small case at the Good Spirits bar there, right by the piazza. And I just want to say, for a long time, I wouldn't do a cruise on the Island Princess because people were so displeased with the changes that they made when they redid the ship. And finally, we took a cruise on the Island Princess because it was going where we wanted to go, and no other ships were going with Princess. And the other cruise lines we looked at didn't have the itinerary that we wanted, so away we went. And you know what? We loved the cruise. We loved the ship. We, on this whole cruise, have been by the International Cafe a few times, but we have not gone without food. And so I just want you to kind of keep that in your mind. If the Island Princess is going where you want to go, it's an excellent ship. We have good friends that we know that just got off the Island Princess, and they loved the cruise. The crew was outstanding. The ship was great. They really enjoyed it. So I'm just putting that out there. If you're putting off going on a ship simply because of what you've heard, overall, I think you should go, unless it's really bad things you've heard. But the Island Princess has been great, and I'm looking forward to going on that ship when we do our 50-day cruise in October. So I just felt like I should add that information in there for you all. Another note for you is how to manage your specialty dining on these smaller ships. Now, the smaller ships just have Sabatinis and Crown Grill. And for a really long time, I felt that that was somehow limiting. I would say, you know, when you go on the Star Princess or the Sun Princess, they have so much specialty dining that it's worth it to buy the Premier package. We bought the Premier package for this cruise, and you know what? We have thoroughly enjoyed it. We have kind of alternated evenings with going to Sabatini's and going to Crown Grill. We tried lots of different things on the menu, learned new favorites actually, learned which cut of meat is best to have me ask them to please cook it well done. It's on this ship, it happens to be the New York strip. It comes juicy and well done. Do you know how rare that is? Outstanding. So I think it's worth it. If you enjoy specialty dining, you should do it on whatever ship that you're going on. I will note that I've noticed not only on the smaller ships like the Island or the Coral, the Sapphire, and even on the Sun Princess and the Star Princess, specialty dining is always more busy on a formal night. We noticed it here, and just putting that little thought out there. If you don't care which evening you eat your specialty dining, do it on a non-formal night evening. But even on the formal night, we have had 2 formal nights during this cruise, and we dined in specialty dining, and it was a little more busy, but we still had excellent service. So I just thought I would put that out there because we have really enjoyed this. So let me know in the comments if you usually get the Premier package to enjoy specialty dining, or if you never have, just tell me what your thought process is, because it's fun to think about things together. A quick note for you, I'm a little bit behind on regular business here because we've been on the ship, but the cruises for Princess for 27-28 for Asia and Japan are now on sale. They started being on sale yesterday, April 14th. And so if that is something that you're looking at, I'm delighted to help you with it. Send me an email, and I've got a lot of help to give. That sounds funny, but I also have great ideas on things we should do as a group. So I'm kind of looking at those itineraries. I'll get back to you on it. But Asia is amazing. It should be on your bucket list. Asia, Japan, this whole region should be on your bucket list. So yeah, more is to come on that. But if you've been waiting for that, now is the time to do it. Usually the prices are the very best right when they're released. They have, if they offer any perks, it's better right when they're released. And so just putting that out there for you. Another thing that I have learned and has been amazing on this cruise is how happy the people in all of these ports are to have you visit. Truly, from Hong Kong, the only port we've not been to on this cruise yet is Tokyo, but all of them have welcomed us in very graciously via the tour guides. When you get off the ship, there have been people there waiting in the port to welcome everybody in. They have done an outstanding job and are doing an outstanding job of welcoming people to come and visit their places where they live. They are proud to share where they live and their heritage with you. I've also noticed that on all of the tours, we have had outstanding tour guides. We had a funny one day that was a little bit disappointing, but all of them, they talk the whole time telling you everything there is to know about the places you're going to visit, about the history, about how things work, just everything. And so it is really a place that you can come and learn a lot about the people, learn a lot about, like I said, their heritage, the places you're going to visit. And you also get a really good feeling, I find, of who they are, because as you listen to them, they share a little bit of their personal history with you, but also you can just tell the way that they are. It really stands out to me that in all of these ports, they have welcomed us in the morning and done a send-off of some sort as we have left the port. There has been people out there bidding us farewell in every single port. So it's been absolutely wonderful to get to experience that. I've never been to Asia or Japan before, so it's really amazing to me to get to experience that firsthand. I was saying to Gordon at dinner this evening, I said, so if somebody told you that you could either go to the Mediterranean or to Japan, which one would you choose? And you know what? He said, they're just different. It would depend on what we were going for, what time of year we were going, all of these things. But one is not better than the other. They're just different. And I have to say that I agree with him on that. And so I've just thoroughly enjoyed the experience that we've had. Last up, pretty much, I want to let you know I have talked to a lot of the people that have been on this cruise. A lot of the people who are on the ship have been on for a lot of the cruise, either from Los Angeles or from Fort Lauderdale, or some of them added like in Sydney, a few got on in Singapore that we've spoken with, but across that whole group of people, and we've had the pleasure of speaking to a lot of people, they are really glad that they came. They are really glad that they came for the whole cruise, the ones that have come for the whole thing. Whatever segment they have joined with, they have been really pleased to be here. Everyone has talked about how excellent that cruise director is. He is absolutely outstanding, and he doesn't just be the cruise director that you see at the shows, but I often see him in the morning outside of the ports wishing everybody to have a wonderful day. I often see him in the evening welcoming people back. I see him at the events, of course, on board, but he does an outstanding job, and he is perfectly fitted, I feel like, to being the cruise director for a world cruise. And I'll tell you why that group varies a little bit in another video, but it is really remarkable when you have a group of people who come together who want to see the world. And I think it's pretty special, and he does an outstanding job of managing all of that. The other thing that has really stood out to me is so many people have mentioned, who have been on the ship for very long at all, how important the enrichment is. I guess at the beginning of the cruise they had kind of a bumpy start with that, and when they finally got it under control and things were going well, things really picked up for people. Several people have mentioned that to me, and so I hope that let me know in the comments, do you all enjoy the enrichment? We love the enrichment. We have listened, the destination expert on the ship right now, his name is Hutch. He has done a video for every port, and if it's a busy day and they don't have time to fit in an enrichment talk from him in the schedule, he records it and it's available on your stateroom TV. He does an excellent job. He has walked you step by step through what to do in the ports, what to see in the places that there are available to go. He's just done an outstanding job, and so enrichment is still a thing, and that makes me happy because a lot of ships don't have enrichment the same, and I think it's important that they keep these destination experts on board the ship because people don't like it. Like for a period, I guess they had someone reading off of an iPad. People don't want that. People want someone that have been to these places, that know about these places, and can share their experience. And so I think it's amazing that everyone is enjoying the enrichment so much. There are 3 crew members that I feel like deserve a shout out, and so we have had an amazing stateroom steward. His name is Ashok, but he has done an excellent job, and he is out in the hall every day from 7 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. Then he comes back at 6, and he's usually still there at 10:30. And so he has done an amazing job, anxious to do anything for you that he can. In the specialty restaurants, Aziz, A-Z-I-Z, he is the one who took good care of us in the Sabatinis, and he is the person who told me that Marrakesh is magic. He is from Morocco, so I asked him what we should do for an excursion there. I said, mostly you choose from doing things in Casablanca or taking a big day trip over to Marrakesh. He said Marrakesh is magic. So we have booked the best of Marrakesh. We're going to go there on our 50-day cruise that we leave for October 6th on the Island Princess. I am so excited. And so he told me a lot more about it, but he has done an outstanding job of taking good care of us in Sabatini's, and Romil in the Crown Grill. R-O-M-I-L is how you spell his name. Ask for them, ask for both of them, but in the Crown Grill, Romil is outstanding. He has been with Princess for over 20 years, and he is a gem, and just wanted to share that with you all so you know who to ask for when you come on the Coral Princess. So if any of you have any questions about the Coral Princess, anything about our cruise, we have a couple more destinations to share with you that we'll get those videos done really quickly. Let me know in the comments, and I'm delighted to answer. I wanted to let you know that we are going to be in Tokyo for 2 more days. We disembark tomorrow, then we've got Disneyland Tokyo, a day of sightseeing in Tokyo, and then we're going to fly home. So just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you coming with us. To be sure to watch for more videos, and I indeed will be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.